Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to discuss about Recount Text. It is a text that is taught for high school students, especially for the first grade. Hi students, my name is Miss Uni. I am your teacher today. Students, what did you do yesterday? Or what did you do on your last holiday? Did you go to Kumala Island? Or somewhere else? Any beautiful places? When we talked about past events, we talked about Recount Text. I have prepared the concept map and the explanation for you. Let's get started. Students, this is the concept map or C map that will help us understand about Recount Text. As you can see, here in the middle, we have Recount Text. First, let's start by the red one, definition. Do you remember the question that I asked you before? What did you do yesterday? Or on your last holiday? Have you imagined that? Yes. Recount text is to retell events or experiences in the past. Because it is telling past events, usually the idea is based on your own experience. It can be about your activity yesterday, story when you have a special moment on your graduation day, or probably your awesome holiday. Basically, it is not only a happy moment, bad experience, for example, when you lost something important for you, a phone maybe. That case can be the idea of making recount text. So, based on your experience. Okay, I have told you the definition. Now we move on to the yellow one. Types of recount text. There are three types of recount text. Here we have personal recount, factual recount, and imaginative recount. So, what is the difference between these three? Let's talk about personal recount first. This is how we explain our personal experiences. Retell events that writer personally involved. So, retelling your holiday, that is the part of personal recount. And the next, factual recount. This is retelling an incident. For example, police report, newspaper report, or biography. And the third, imaginative recount. This means that you write an imaginary role like a fiction, something in the past, based on your imagination. So you try to imagine you went somewhere in the past like you really did that. Let's take some examples. This is the first example. It has visiting my grandmother as the title. Can you take a guess which type of recount it belongs to? So, here we can read, last week I visited my grandmother who lives in Ranawangko, a small village in Manado. It can be seen that it based on personal experience of the writer. So, it belongs to personal recount. Let's take the second example. Short biography of Albert Einstein. What is it? What type? If your answer is factual recount, then it's correct. This is the most popular example of factual recount usually involved in your textbook if you are a first grade high school student in the form of biography. And then the last one, here we have the example of imaginative recount, My Rainforest Adventure by Livina. So Livina, as the writer, here she imagined a rainforest adventure. She tells what she saw during the adventure like she experienced it for real. And the next, we have the green one, social function, as the part of recount text that we have to know, of course. What is the purpose of writing a recount text? This is it, to inform or entertain readers. And the next, we have generic structure in blue section. It is also important to get to know in learning a text. So within a story, that is the thing we called this one, generic structure. This recount is divided into three, including orientation, events, and reorientation. As you can see here, orientation is the opening, when writer mentions about general information such as what the story tells about the participants, place, time, kind of those things. And then events. This is a series of events in the past, in what sequence it happened, like that. And the last is reorientation. This is the summary or the impression, personal comments by the writers. So students, let's see how we divide a text based on generic structure. If you still remember, I have showed you this story before, visiting my grandmother. So this is the generic structure. The first paragraph, last week until peaceful atmosphere, this is orientation. It tells us about general information, about time, participants, place, like that. And then, the second and the third paragraph, when my grandmother until my grandmother's youth, is events. This is what happened in the story in sequence. And then, the last paragraph, it was an impressive visit. I will always miss my grandmother. This is reorientation as the closing, stating about personal comment of the writers. So, back to CMAP, we continue with language feeders, the orange section. This will show you what language feeders you should include when writing a recount text. First, introducing personal participants. You can use I, my family, my group, and etc. Next is chronological connection. Because you need to retell the story in sequence, you have to use first, then, after that, and etc. And the next, after chronological connection, there will be using linking verb. Remember that linking verb is used to connect the subject with a word that gives information about that subject. And then after that, using action verb, just like look, go, and other examples. And the last, this is important, using simple past tense, because this is retelling past events, of course. So students, I will show you videos that can help putting together words into a sentence in past tense. Let's watch.
The past simple.
How do we form the past simple? Affirmative.
Subject plus verb in past tense plus object. We ate some lovely pizzas last night.
Conjugating the past simple. Affirmative.
washed the car. You washed the car. He washed the car. She washed the car. We washed the car. They washed the car.
How do we form the past simple? Negative.
Subject plus did plus not plus verb plus object. Jim did not finish his homework.
Conjugating the past simple. Negative.
I did not wash the car. You did not wash the car. He did not wash the car. She did not wash the car. We did not wash the car. They did not wash the car.
We can contract the negative form of the auxiliary verb, do, in the past.
I did not. I didn't. You did not. You didn't. He did not. She did not. He didn't. She didn't. We did not. We didn't. They did not. They didn't.
How do we form the past simple? Interrogative.
Did plus subject plus verb plus object. Did you listen to music last night?
Conjugating the past simple. Interrogative.
Did I wash the car? Did you wash the car? Did he wash the car? Did she wash the car? Did we wash the car? Did they wash the car?
What is the past simple of be? We can say, he is tall about the present. What can we say about his past? He was short. This is called the past simple tense. We use the past simple to talk about the past. He was short is the positive. What is the negative? The negative is he wasn't short. Wasn't is the contraction of was not. Here are some more examples. I was a police officer. I wasn't a police officer. She was beautiful. She wasn't beautiful. It was expensive. It wasn't expensive. We were at home. We weren't at school. They were in Russia. They weren't in Thailand. So the past simple of be has two forms, was and were. Which one is singular and which one is plural? Was is singular and were is plural. But sometimes English doesn't always follow the rules. The pronoun you can be singular or plural, but we use were for both singular you and plural you. You were late to school. You weren't late to school. We can also make questions using the past simple. Why were you late to school? Were you late to school? The short answer for a yes-no question is yes, I was. No, I wasn't. When were they in Russia? Were they in Russia? The short answers are yes, they were. No, they weren't. How much was it? Was it expensive? And what are the short answers? Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. So remember, we use the past simple of be to talk about the past. The negatives are was becomes wasn't, were becomes weren't. Was is singular, were is plural, and for you. The short answers to yes-no questions are yes plus subject plus was or were. No plus subject plus wasn't or weren't.
Well, students, this is the end of the lesson. Hope you understand and like it. I'm Miss Uni and see you on the next lesson. Bye!